Personally, I think everybody could benefit from the home visiting programs.
I think that as a parent now, I'm grateful for support more than I was before.
I filled out that form not knowing what I was doing. I am very, very grateful that I did it because it's really helping me a lot.
Bueno, creo que por mi parte esperaba algo totalmente diferente, como un programa más frío, por decir algo, no tan cercano a la familia. Y a través del programa nos hemos dado cuenta que también pasa a ser una familia con nosotros porque nos apoya en los momentos difíciles o cuando nos hemos visto en dificultades.
Well, I was a new mom and I had no experience taking care of a newborn.
There isn't like a book on how to raise a kid.
We come from like a lot of family history of, drugs, violence, alcoholism, so we didn't want our daughter to experience any of that.
The thought that a parent was supposed to be loving, nurturing, supposed to be there for their kid, provide food, shelter, joy, and going in, becoming a parent for her, I had no clue how to provide that.
Cómo pensar educarla, cómo educar a un hijo porque pues nosotros nunca, es la primera vez que íbamos a ser padres.
What I think parents should know about home visiting is that you can learn a lot of new things and tips and tricks, how to take care of the baby and what to do, and if you're, stuck in a routine and everything being monotonous, like they give you new resources and new tools how to handle parenthood.
It was nice to have them kind of guiding me, even though I was not a first-time mom. I felt like a first-time mom.
It totally blew my mind over time. So much information that I had no idea about. She was straightforward when, teaching me this stuff and answered any of my questions. Just a really positive experience.
What I think that parents could benefit with the program is just having someone here for you, especially for first-time parents. It can be very isolating and it can be very lonely, and having the home visitor changes that and it feels very good.
For me, having a home visitor is like having a second mom there.
A lot has changed. I'm definitely more knowledgeable taking care of her, and I know that anytime I need advice or help from somebody, I can just call her.
It's just that little positive nudge.
Meeting of the Assessment Appeals Board, April 28, 2025. I would like to invite the clerk to conduct roll call, please.
Member Shepard?
Here.
Member Swope?
Here.
And Member Kramer?
Next, I would like to announce the order of proceedings. Confirm agenda amendments. Invite clerk to provide updates subsequent to agenda publication.
There have been no updates subsequent to agenda publication.
All right, very good. Then would you like to read into the record requested withdrawals, please?
Sure thing. All right, the list of withdrawals is as follows. Protest application number 240006, protest application number 240007, protest application number 240008, protest application number 24009, protest application number 240010, protest application number 240011, protest application number 240012, and protest application number 240013.
I second.
All right, so accepted.
Member Kramer?
Aye.
Member Swope?
Aye.
And Member Shepard?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Oh, and just to clarify, there was no public comment on that item, correct?
Not that I see.
Perfect, thank you.
Moving on to approval of stipulations in place of appearance and testimony, I would like to invite the clerk to read into the record requested stipulations.
Our one stipulation is protest application number 240014, applicant name Navarro General Store.
Any discussion from board members?
I'll move to accept the withdrawal of 240014.
I'll
second.
Thank you.
To clarify, this is a stipulation.
Or excuse me,
Perfect. Thank you.
stipulation.
Any public comment?
Can I ask
Go
a
ahead.
question here?
Yes, please.
Is this the one that we made a decision on? This sounds so familiar. So after we did that, then you did a stipulation on top of that?
No, this is the following year.
That's just following that. Okay.
Right. And then what this was we talked to the property owner, and we basically did the same thing that you used, the same basic approach as what the AAB did, and then we agreed to keep this on a Prop 8 for a while.
Okay. Thank you. I'll
And-
call for the question then.
Any public comment?
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry, did we already do the motion and approving of the stipulation?
We have the motion, we just need to do the vote.
All right, let's proceed with the vote.
Member Kramer?
Aye.
Member Shepard?
Aye.
And Member Swope?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Moving on to agenda item 4, approval of extension of time request pursuant to RTC 1604, parentheses C. Could the clerk please read into the record requested extension of time request?
Protest application number 230024, protest application number 240001, protest application number 240002, protest application number 240003, and protest application number 240004.
Any discussion or comments from the board?
I see in my thing we have approval of extension of time, and then following it, those same ones are approval of requested continuances. Is that appropriate?
Yes, so the extension of time request is a form that allows the case to be heard after the 2-year required hearing window. So these applicants are waiving that right to be heard within 2 years.
Any other board comments? Public comment? I would invite a motion to approve extension of time requests.
I so move.
I second.
May we have a vote?
Member Shepard?
Aye.
Member Swope?
Aye.
And Member Kramer?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. Agenda item 5, approval of requested continuance and/or postponements. Could the clerk please read into the record the requested continuance and/or postponements?
Protest application numbers 240001, protest application number 240002, protest application number 240003, and protest application number 240004.
Any discussion from board members?
No.
No.
Public comment? I would like to invite a motion to approve the postponements.
I so move to approve the postponements that were just read.
And I second.
Member Shepard?
Aye.
Member Kramer?
Aye.
And Member Swope?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Moving to agenda item number 6, conduct assessment appeal protest hearing and presentation of evidence. I would like to invite the clerk to read into the record assessment appeal protest hearing cases.
The first and only protest application number we have to hear today is 240005, applicant name Blumenfeld Mark L.
And could the clerk please swear in the parties and witnesses?
Yes, will all parties and witnesses who are here to testify please come forward and raise your right hand? I'll try to do as best as I can. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you are about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
So I request findings of facts from the appellants.
So this would be the soliciting request for findings of facts. If I remember correctly, there was no request for findings of fact on the application. Is that correct? Okay.
Can I get a point of order here?
Yes, please.
We got no information at all that I'm aware of on this, did we?
No.
Okay,
Lily?
good enough. I just wanted,
We're getting to that part.
okay.
We've
Okay.
got the packets here.
Okay.
Very good, thank you.
Could I present to the board with information that I provided for this meeting? Is that a possibility? That allowed?
Yes, Lily will go ahead and take it, and she'll pass it out along with the other materials.
Okay.
And Atlas, the assessor would like a findings of facts, request a finding. We have the right to do that before the end of the meeting.
Charlotte Scott County Council, that is correct. Either party can request findings of fact. It is recommended, though, that that's put in writing before the hearing.
Okay.
To the extent that's possible in the future, I recommend that, but I don't see any issue with that request at this time.
Do we vote on it then? No.
And is it the assessor's office that goes first or the appellant? The assessor's office, all right. Then I would request that the assessor's office present their case, please.
Bill Chapman, Real Property Appraiser 3, County of Mendocino. The subject of appeal is parcel 095-020-0401, located at 5200 Blue Lake Road, Brook Trails. On September 8th, 2022, this property at 1,179 square foot, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, single-family residence on 0.44 of an acre, transferred directly from seller to Mr. Blumenfeld for $110,000. Because of the transaction lacked open market exposure, state law requires the assessor's office to determine fair market value through analysis of arm's length comparable sales. In December of 2023, our appraiser, Mr. Naresh Mayela, conducted an exterior site inspection. He was unable to access the interior. He noted the home's exterior to be in good condition. He left a business card stating that he had visited the property, and relying on good condition comparables, he originally arrived at a market value of $310,000. Upon receiving the supplemental tax bill, Mr. Blumenfeld contacted our office in May of 24, asserting that the property was in distressed condition and that the valuation was excessive. He was invited to provide objective evidence such as photographs, contractor repair quotes, pest or home inspection reports, or receipts for work performed to substantiate his claim. While 1 entryway and 4 exterior photos were submitted in May of 2024, no corroborating documentation of material distress or deferred maintenance has been provided, nor have any building or renovation permits been filed, despite Mr. Blumenfeld's April 21st of 2025 statement that he performed electrical upgrades, structural reinforcement, and window replacement, all of which legally require permits. After reviewing the limited information provided by the property owner, this office made adjustments to our evaluation, basing the comparable sales in average condition rather than good condition. Mr. Blumenfeld requested a hearing and was scheduled for hearing on October 28th of 24, which he postponed, and the assessor's office sent its first September 3rd of 2024 and second February 11th of 25 information requests. We urged him to furnish further evidence and even offered to conduct a walkthrough to get firsthand knowledge of completed or needed repairs. Mr. Blumenfeld declined access on March 5th of 25, asserting and said that he had given extensive evidence when in fact only 5 photographs and a post-dated appraisal have been provided. On December 2nd of 2024, Mr. Blumenfeld submitted a fee appraisal performed by Mr. Tim Stransky, which valued the property as of September 8th, 2022, at a figure Mr. Blumenfeld feels supports his claim. The assessor's office must scrutinize Mr. Stransky's selection of comparables. Although Mr. Stransky described the subject as average condition, he relied on 3 sales in fair or fixer condition, 1 gutted to the studs, another with missing flooring and water-damaged ceilings, and a 3rd inferior in age, quality, and condition, with one of the sales 18 months prior to the subject's property sale, when highest and best appraisal practice is to use comparable sales within a 6-month window. And if you would look at the screen, Mr. Maiella has some photographs of the subject property, comparable properties chosen by Mr. Stransky, followed by photos of the comparable properties chosen by the county. The first photo that you're seeing is the subject property. You can see that there's a support beam with end rot, 3 other exterior photos with a 2x4, approximate 2x4 foot section of open flooring. These are the only photos provided to us. And then the next slide will be the fee appraisal subject photos. There are a few others. I think there's a photo of the restroom that we didn't see. The kitchen, which we didn't see any of these interior photos. And until we got the appraisal. The next slide after that are subject property fee appraisal number 2. And then from there we'll go to the fee appraisal comp number 1. That's in section 6 of your packet. It's located at 25081 Brook Trails Drive. It's a 1,305 square foot single family residence. That property sold on 4/25 of 2022 and then again on 10/7 of 2022. As you can see, this property is in process of a rehab with walls open to the studs, no flooring, and in such inferior condition that our office feels it is not a valid comp. The next slide that you'll see is fee appraisal comp number 2. That's in section 7 of your packet. This property is a 1,535 that's at 1535 Castile Drive. It's an 1,159 square foot single family residence that sold on March 9th of 2021 for $210,000. Now this comp we didn't give much weight to because it sold 18 months prior to the subject. Again, highest and best standards of practice and appraisals within about a 6-month window. But also the photos show that it to be significantly inferior to the subject.
Can I ask the location? Where's Castile Drive?
Up there in Brook Trails.
Pardon me?
Brook Trails.
Brook Trails.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
So you said that it was inferior?
Mm-hmm. You can see that in the bathroom picture.
Oh, I see.
Lack of flooring, lack of ceiling coverage, holes in the walls.
So this was another rehab
Yes.
unit? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Now we're going to have a look at the county comp number 1. That's in section 8 of your packet.
Okay, hold on.
This is located at 1838 Ponderosa Place. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. Sold 6/10 of 22 for $250,000. It's comparable in age. Our subject property was built in 1974. The comparable is 1973. It's comparable in size. This is a 1,064 square foot residence. The quality we felt was inferior. We did make upward adjustments to which you can see on our, I believe it's page.
Why did you think the quality was inferior?
The way that we rate our properties in our system, D5, D4. This one was rated lower. The standards of building, when it was initially inspected, were rated to be less quality than our subject.
Okay.
And the land size was smaller on this property, and there was also a lack of a bathroom, so we did make an upward adjustment.
What's the land size?
The land size on this is 0.2 of an acre.
Okay, thank you.
But the subject site looks fairly steep.
It does have some slope to it.
Yeah. I noticed that too.
And we should have further pictures. Okay. And then we're going to go to county comp number 2. This was one also used in the fee appraisal. It's a little bit outside of the 6-month window. It closed 11/17 of 21. It's located at 285 Sherwood Road. You'll find that in section 9 of your packet. And this closed at $228,812. We did find this to be inferior in age. It was built in 1954, also in quality. And this has a garage, which subject property does not. So we did make a downward adjustment for that. We have a couple more photos of that. Now this property, the county records state it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. The fee appraisal list says it's 3-bedroom, 2-bath. We should have one more slide of photos.
This one is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath?
The subject?
The subject is 2-bedroom, 2-bath. This one, we have it in records as a 2-bedroom, 2-bath.
Yeah, okay.
And lastly, we come to county comp number 3. That's in section 10 of your packet. This one sold 9/9 of 22, the day after the subject property.
Excuse me, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
On number 9, what was the date of the sale?
That one was 11/17 of 21.
Thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
No
Go
problem.
ahead.
This comparable sold the day after the subject sale for $265,125. It's an 1,154 square foot, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. That's on 0.2 of an acre. We found the quality to be similar, the location. This one is newer, so we did make an age adjustment. And the land size was really negligible. We made a slight adjustment for square footage. And this has a 600 square foot garage, so we did a downward adjustment for that.
How much did you adjust for the garage?
We had $18,000. The assessor's office has identified arm's length sales of similarly situated average condition residences in the Brook Trails market that support a fair market value of $255,000 as of September 8th, 2022. It has also come to the attention of the assessor that the seller resided in the subject property until late June of 2024. This contradicts the idea that the property was in such disrepair that it needed a total rehab rather than a remodel or updating. Given the lack of permitted repairs, absence of substantiating documentation, and the unavailability of Mr. Blumenfeld's own chosen comparables under standard appraisal practice, the assessor respectfully requests that the value be set at $255,000. And that's all we have. Thank you.
Any questions?
Lot size on number 9.
Number 9. That was 0.2 of an acre.
And that was a flat lot?
Mostly flat, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You said that somebody actually visited my property and reviewed it and left a business card?
Yes.
I was unaware of this. How was I supposed to know that? Did you inform me of that?
I wasn't required to inform you.
Okay, I didn't know. So this is all kind of discovery for me of what stuff that you've done. So, okay.
Clerk and board, I think the normal process is to, after assessor completes, or whichever party is first completes their evidence, and then the applicant or the assessor, whoever's next, would follow through with their questions and points of clarification. And I believe another issue is that the clerk would like to prepare an extra copy of applicant's materials to provide to the assessor. If there's a good point in time after you're done with your questions of the assessor, if that we could just the clerk could take a quick break to make that copy.
Certainly, yes. Let's
if I could make a quick response to Mr. Blumenfeld.
Sure.
In his first conversation with my colleague, he was informed that there was a site check, which is standard practice for the assessor's office.
All right, thank you for that. All right. Okay.
Can I ask a question now?
Are we, does the assessor have a copy? Okay, go ahead.
You got an appraisal? Did you submit it?
Correct, yes.
It's his documents.
It's in our original document?
Correct.
It's also in your packet. I submitted that to you. It's section 5.
Oh,
I believe
okay.
this is his. There you go, you got it. I believe we're ready for the appellant to present your side of the
Sure.
information.
I have a small prepared statement, and then I can kind of explain the fundamental difference between the county's valuation and my value.
Certainly.
Good morning, members of the appeal board. My name is Mark Blumenfeld, and thank you for the opportunity to present here today. This matter concerns the reassessment of 5200 Blue Lake Road. Throughout this process, I have cooperated fully with the county's assessor office, including providing a certified third-party independent report, supplying photographs and comparable sales, and also offering a fair settlement proposal to save everybody's time and resources. Despite these efforts, the county has continued to shift its valuation from $310,000 of the subject property to $255,000, and most recently in the negotiating process to $230,000. This instability calls into question the objectivity and reliability of their internal valuation models. In contrast, my appraisal is from an independent licensed appraiser and conforms with Revenue and Tax Code 401.3, which directs that an independent appraiser should be given substantial evidentiary weight. Furthermore, while I provided the county with my appraisal months ago, there has been no written rebuttal or specific critiques findings which undercuts the credibility of their alternative valuation. I also note that under Revenue and Taxation Code 1605, I requested access to materials submitted to the board prior to this hearing, but not received any requested documents, limiting my ability to prepare for this meeting. Lastly, the original sale of the property was an arm's length transaction between an unrelated party specifying determined on the fair market value of Revenue and Taxation Code 110B. In light of the independent appraisal that I have and the county's shifty valuations, it's my good efforts put forward through this process. I respectfully request that the board accepts an appraisal value of $179,000 as appropriate assessment for 5200 Blue Lake Road. I think that to summarize, the key difference between my valuation is I'm using an independent third-party appraiser versus a county's biased report. So the county has a biased report in what they're reporting, and according to Revenue and Tax Code, the independent appraiser is a fair representation of what a fair market value is, and I think it's as simple as that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I have a question for you.
Sure.
But obviously, you didn't prepare the appraisal, so.
Correct.
But I am going to ask you about your appraiser's comparable number 1.
Can I bring the appraiser to answer those questions? He's here today.
Oh, all right. I guess has he been sworn in?
He can be if you want him to.
He needs to be.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Would the clerk be able to swear in the witness, please?
Yep. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. I had a question about your comparable number 1.
Yes.
In the assessor's testimony, it was stated that this dwelling was essentially unlivable, but I don't see an adjustment between comparable number 1 and the subject property in that condition category.
That's correct. What I did as part of my appraisal, I did a search on the MLS of similar properties, and I had identified the subject property as a fixer. In fact, it was still being repaired when I did my inspection some 2 years after the purchase of the property. So I felt that all 3 properties were fixers, needed significant repairs. I'd like to say that on comp 3, there's a typo. I had described it as in good condition, but in fact it was a fixer. So what I did was I pulled 3 fixer properties from the Brook Trails area and used those.
Wouldn't there be, I mean, based on the sales prices of these 3 sales, it appears there are gradations of the fixer status, with some being more of a fixer and some being less of a fixer. It would appear that comparable number 1 may have warranted an upward adjustment in that condition category. Do you agree?
Well, not in my estimation. There were significant. There was issues with rot.
Now, are we talking about the subject property?
The subject property
All right.
had some significant rot, dry rot, and like I said, it was still being repaired when I my inspection.
And the dry rot you mentioned, is that with the residential structure or decking or?
Yeah, both.
Okay. But was the subject 5200 Blue Lake Road a habitable structure as of your value date?
I did not see it as of my valuable date. I saw it 2 years later.
But you would have received information from the property owner regarding its condition as of that value date, would you not?
Yes. Well, I guess it depends on your definition of habitable. I mean, are you Miss Shepherd?
Yes.
So you've seen properties in the county and how people live in homes that in disrepair. So
I've seen from
You've
one end to the other, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Exactly.
Yes, ma'am.
So what about 5200 Blue Lake Road, in your opinion, made it a not habitable structure?
Well, I didn't consider it. I didn't consider any of these uninhabitable. But they all were in need of significant repair.
Well, I'll just get right to it. Comp number 1 sold for $150.
Right.
That seems to be quite a discounted price based on the evidence presented by the assessor and the other 2 comparables that you present in your report. So it would seem that comparable number 1 was in far lesser condition than the other 2 comparables or the comparables that the assessor used. Would you agree or disagree?
Well, it would seem that way, although the way the market is, especially more recently in Mendocino County, prices are all over the board. So what I tried to do was I tried to find 3 comparables that were, pretty much middle of the road, and that's what I used, and I adjusted accordingly.
I noted in your summary of market data, you show 19 comparable properties ranging from 250 to 450.
Yes.
But yet the comparables that you employed ranged from 150 to 228, 812.
Yeah, that is a typo. I'm sorry. I started my my search at 100,000, 250.
Okay. And then the same is true of the listing comparables. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That 19 is the listing comparables. 9 sale comparables, again, ranging from 250 to 450.
Yes, and that's a typo.
Okay, so the repeat of the range is incorrect?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Did you investigate to see what the correct range would be?
I'm sorry?
You mentioned that the 250 to 450, based on 9 comparable sales, that range is incorrect. Did you go back to look?
Yes, the range is incorrect, yes.
Okay. Did you by any chance go back to look and see what the correct range would be for Brook Trails? I'm assuming your sales summary is limited to the Brook Trails market.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Because Brook Trails is a different market than
Right.
Willis proper.
Right, okay. All right, and the sales price at 110, that seemed below market. Was there a reason for the sale price at that dollar amount?
My understanding was that there was a crime committed at this property, and that may have,
Yes. So I knew the person, it's unrelated, and the 110 was something that we agreed upon. So I consulted that of a realtor, and it went through Redwood Title. But the question is not whether it was purchased for 110, the fair market value, I'm stating it. Thank you.
Right, I understand. I'm just trying to get some history and get an understanding for the market. So you believe the 110 is an outlier price?
Could be. It could be. I wasn't researching price when I purchased it. It had nothing to do with fair market value. It was agreed upon between two buyers and sellers, came to an agreement.
Okay. So you were motivated to purchase it because you saw an upside to remodeling it and
Correct.
either renting it. Is it currently occupied?
It's unoccupied. It's currently doing under renovations. It hasn't been occupied for a year since a crime did actually happen. It's currently unoccupied.
So do you think the crime that occurred caused a blight to the value?
It's past the time of purchase, so I don't think that's relevant here, is it?
Okay. I just was curious what...
Something I would like to add is
Yes.
the county's 3 new comps that they're using. I've only received this information 15 days ago. For the first over a year, we've been working on the 310 valuation, and there's 3 additional comps that I have prepared for, but they're not part of the county's presentations because 15 days ago they've changed the comps into a new set of comps. So I'd like to point that out.
So if I could interject here, and as far as his assertion that we didn't provide evidence, that was the evidence. It's what we based it on, the comparables. He had them 15 days in advance as was required, and that's what we gave him.
Yes, 15 days advance, I agree. But for the last 14 months, we were working on another set of comps.
Okay, thank you.
Well, and we adjusted, as we got information. Also, my question for Mr. Stransky is, if you had provided this appraisal to the bank, do you think they would have kicked it back? Would they have kicked this appraisal back to you if you were doing a truly independent appraisal for a loan?
No.
Really? With an 18-month sale, predating, you said yourself the market's fluctuating and changing.
I'm
So you
assuming
excuse me, I'm speaking to Mr. Stransky. He provided a sale 18 months prior, when there was a sale the day after, and that one didn't come up in your search? I use the same MLS as you. Just missed
Been
that
doing
one.
this for 22 years. Problem.
Clerk, Charlotte Scott, County Council. I think the questions should be directed, or the presentation should be directed to the board. Questions can be pointed out, and I think the board, if the board would like to direct exam questions of either side, the board can. I don't think there's really a process for both sides to examine the other side.
About the figures mentioned revised to 255,000 and then offered at 230,000. I would like to have clarification from either party as to that contention.
So my colleague, Bill Chapman, County Mendocino, Appraiser 3. My colleague, Mr. Mayella, took into account lesser condition comps for a settlement point of $230,000. He found lesser condition. We were trying to be, we don't have a dog in this fight, so we're trying to be as workable as we can, and that was the lowest that we could come to in our research.
Can I add something to that?
Yes, go ahead.
So I tried to be reasonable as well. So the 255 that was offered versus the 179 that I proposed, I took exactly 50% of that, and I thought that was a fair, good faith offer to present to it, which was $217,000. And I presented that to the county, and they have rejected that, and they've came up with a different amount. So that's my good effort to try to save everybody's administrative time on this process.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Kramer, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. So, anything further from the assessor's office?
If we had been provided access or the complete picture, we would have come to a conclusion earlier. The $230,000 was our last effort to come to a stipulation. Also, as far as this being a purchase from unrelated parties, we do have evidence that it was from Mr. Blumenfeld's aunt. It's a legal document.
Okay.
I would like to interject, she is not my aunt. There's no blood relation whatsoever. So I asked Mr. Chapman to provide me with that information. He has not done so. And also, as far as the on-site visit that has been requested, it's within my right. There's no requirement to allow the county to go in and review and inspect the property. My contention is that a lot of work has been done and nearly 3 years have elapsed since the time of sale versus the inspection. And I don't think it's relevant having the county going through years after the fact to try to determine what the value was for years. So I said it was irrelevant, and I still believe that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You mentioned a lot of work has been done, yet it sounded as if permits were required for the work, so I'm a little confused as to how that gets squared.
So I think the permits is another situation here. So the permits would have happened after the time of purchase. And I think this subject matter is at September 2022, what was the value of the property at that date? So as far as the subsequent permits and those stuff, that's only justification for using the county's 3-comp model approach. What I still go back is it's not really relevant, but has work been done correct? Has there been lots of permits pulled? No, it has not, but that would be a separate matter all unto itself.
Okay. Anything further?
So do we go into
I also would like to add that the person I purchased for is irrelevant in this consideration process, because what I'm not asking is for 110 valuation. I'm asking what an independent appraiser appraised it at. And you as professionals and me as a certified public accountant, there's certain levels of authority that we stick to. And an independent third-party appraisal has a higher degree of substantive pressure than a biased third-party 3-comp approach. And in my memo, I stated basically that, hey, look, the property has changed multiple times. If their model was accurate, not subject to manipulation, then there wouldn't be changes in the model and valuation. It's as simple as that.
Well, I would have to rebut that with, as we received more information, we did adjust our valuation.
Yes.
And the crime that happened on the property happened in 2024, and that really didn't have any bearing in the sale at all.
I can't agree more.
You mentioned you are a certified public accountant?
Correct.
And under what status and what state?
California, of course. I'm practicing in Willits. I have a firm in Willits. I'm a partner in Angel and Blumenfeld CPA.
Anything further from the appellant?
No, I think so. It's pretty clear. It's between the county appraised value versus the independent appraised value. And I believe that the independent appraised value has a higher degree of substantiality than the biased approach that the county has. That's all.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Now, and one of the things we do want to bring up is permits do matter. It would have showed us proof of what needed to be done, why it was in this quote unquote, unlivable, depressed value. And even though there was someone living in there until 2024. And we are licensed appraisers. We practice in the same fashion that a fee appraiser does, as you well know.
So the property was rented, you believe?
No, the seller remained living in the residence.
Oh, I see. Okay, thank you.
As far as, and I reiterate this, as far as the permitting process goes, it's irrelevant to the value at September 2022. I think that's pretty clear. So I don't know why we keep going back to the permitting process. That's a separate issue onto itself.
All right. Thank you very much. Anything further? All right. Well, I believe that we'll need to take a break and confer on the outcome of all the hearings. So is there a room that we can All right, so I will make a comment then. The Assessment Appeals Board, as of, what time is it? 9:42, will be going into closed session to discuss the evidence presented. Okay, thank you.
Families, all the stuff.
I'm so grateful that I got the opportunity to meet my home visitor, because without her, I think that I would be 10 steps behind from where I'm at right now.
Pero pues aquí pues ya los enseñan un poquito más.
For public comment. Yeah, on what is it?
I see, all right. Can I do that without the clerk here? Oh, he is, okay. Oh, hi, Lily. All right, so any public comment on the matter we just heard? Hearing none?
There is also none online.
Excuse me?
There is no public comment online.
All right, thank you. So we will go into closed session, thank you.
This is going great.
So it's nice to know where they're at, what stage they're at for every parent, and also to give, again, your children that head start in education.
If I had any questions with her, just call her up on the phone. You know, it was very relatable, very personal. And, you know, with her getting to know my kids, you know, she got to kind of help guide me along the way. I mean, there were so many cool things that I've learned.
I went from a very like rough type of life. I was homeless, and she was able to help me get into school, and I actually have enough credits to graduate with the business degree right now.
I think I really want to mention just that I'm grateful that I took advantage, because it's something that has put me in touch with my child, or closer to my child and her development.
I want other people and parents to know that the home visiting is not something that you should be afraid of. It's actually something that is needed.
You know, because she's not just here for her, she's here to help with all of it. She helped me create a safe space where I feel comfortable enough to ask for help.
Don't be afraid to take that step. Like, don't be afraid to get help. It's always okay to have extra support.
I would say, give it a try. You got nothing to lose. It's free. There's some perks, you know. They've got some great resources.
Personally, I think everybody could benefit from the home visiting programs.
Are you prepared? We're the Office of Emergency Services, and we're committed to providing the most up-to-date and accurate information so that you and your family can stay safe during an emergency. Visit MendoReady.org. It's our one-stop shop for emergency information. You can sign up for emergency alerts, find your pre-established evacuation zone on our current emergencies map, and find hazard and preparedness information.
Imagine you're faced with a disaster such as a wildfire, and you're ordered to evacuate. I'll bet you wish you had more time in that moment. Now's your chance to buy yourself that time. Sign up for Nixle and Mendo Alerts on our website, MendoReady.org. Do it today.
If you want your family to be as resilient as possible, it's important to take some time today and visit MendoReady.org, where you can look up your pre-established evacuation zones on our current emergencies map. You can also find important tools to help maintain your situational awareness, such as the Alert California wildfire cameras and the Caltrans road conditions cameras. We hope you'll take some time today to prepare so that your family can be Mendo ready. Thank you.
I realized that my life was going to change dramatically in ways that I did not know or understand or even comprehend. I was going to have to really go to the well and become accountable and adjust to a lot of things differently.
Lo que queríamos era que naciera, ya, sí, ya quiero tener, entonces ahorita lo que tenemos es aprovecharla, quererla y cuidarla lo más que se pueda.
Creo que a todos nos preocupa la primera vez que nos dicen que vamos a ser padres.
When we started the program, my daughter was about 3 months, and my daughter's 22 months now. Something I love about my child, that she's healthy, she's happy, she knows that she's cared for and loved. Those are some of the things that I wanted to make sure that she had, and she has them.
I'm happy today with my daughter. She's the greatest thing in my life, and I'm glad to wake up and see her, and everything I do it for her.
Sí, bueno, yo también vengo de una familia separada. Creo que por eso también me motiva a estar más presente con él, de quizás también estar de la forma quizás que yo no la tuve para Máximo. Y también comprender que el padre no solo es el que pone los límites y las reglas, sino que también está ahí para hablar, acompañar, regalonear, jugar, cosas lindas también, no solo ser el guía para el niño, sino que también un compañero de vida.
I was more of a elated and thankful because for 3 months I was in baby land, and when you're in baby world, you're just kind of flying by the seat of your pants and hoping you know that you're just supportive in the ways that you can be supportive.
Pero pues aquí pues ya los enseñan un poquito más cosas que uno no sabía, como cómo cuidarla, cómo desarrollarla, cómo educarla, y pues es algo bien porque pues cosas que yo no sabía pues ya usted nos las dijo y todo como consejos, y pues muchas cosas que se aprendieron.
Bueno, creo que por mi parte esperaba algo totalmente diferente, como un programa más frío, por decir algo, no tan cercano a la familia, sino más bien un programa de estado programado para la ayuda solamente. Y a través del programa nos hemos dado cuenta que también pasa a ser una familia con nosotros, porque nos apoya en los momentos difíciles o cuando nos hemos visto en dificultades. Siempre nos hemos podido apoyar en Gaby a través de su programa. Encuentro que ha sido fundamental el apoyo.
You know, my experience has been nothing but positive. Annette has been wonderful. She's on time. She lets me know if there's going to be any changes in the schedule.
Not only did we get the assistance with this program, but we also made a really good friend. I'm happy to call Gabby our friend.
I still feel the challenge of being a parent now in today's world is immense. I think that you need support.
Es un gran apoyo para nuevos padres, y más aún si están en nuestra situación, que somos extranjeros, que nuestra familia y amigos, como dice Carla, están en otro país, lejos. Entonces sí, viene muy bien el programa para apoyarse tanto emocional y como anímicamente, y bueno, en varios aspectos del programa, que nos ayuda a seguir adelante con esta nueva aventura.
Don't be afraid to take that step. Like, don't be afraid to get help, because you might think that you know what you're doing, but it's always okay to have extra support, and don't do it alone.
Give it a try. You got nothing to lose. It's free. I'm grateful that I took advantage, because it's something that has put me in touch with my child, or closer to my child and her development.
Personally, I think everybody could benefit from the home visiting programs.
I think that as a parent now, I'm grateful for support more than I was before.
I filled out that form not knowing what I was doing. I am very, very grateful that I did it because it's really helping me a lot.
Bueno, creo que por mi parte esperaba algo totalmente diferente, como un programa más frío, por decir algo, no tan cercano a la familia. Y a través del programa nos hemos dado cuenta que también pasa a ser una familia con nosotros porque nos apoya en los momentos difíciles o cuando nos hemos visto en dificultades.
Well, I was a new mom and I had no experience taking care of a newborn.
There isn't like a book on how to raise a kid.
We come from like a lot of family history of, drugs, violence, alcoholism, so we didn't want our daughter to experience any of that.
The thought that a parent was supposed to be loving, nurturing, supposed to be there for their kid, provide food, shelter, joy, and going in, becoming a parent for her, I had no clue how to provide that.
¿Cómo pensar educarla? Ajá. Cómo educar a un hijo porque pues nosotros nunca, es la primera vez que íbamos a ser padres.
What I think parents should know about home visiting is that you can learn a lot of new things and tips and tricks, how to take care of the baby and what to do, and if you're, stuck in a routine and everything being monotonous, like they give you new resources and new tools how to handle parenthood.
It was nice to have them kind of guiding me, even though I was not a first-time mom. I felt like a first-time mom.
It totally blew my mind over time. So much information that I had no idea about. She was straightforward when, teaching me this stuff and answered any of my questions. Just a really positive experience.
What I think that parents could benefit with the program is just having someone here for you, especially for first-time parents. It can be very isolating and it can be very lonely, and having the home visitor changes that and it feels very good.
For me, having a home visitor is like having a second mom there.
A lot has changed. I'm definitely more knowledgeable taking care of her, and I know that anytime I need advice or help from somebody, I can just call her.
It's just that little positive nudge to, hey, I'm noticing something, let's find a way how to change it. And she's like, you know what, Amanda, let's pick you up, dust you off, and let's go over to, see about either getting your driver's license or seeing about, going to college, see if we can start something for you.
It's totally worth it. Like, even if you're on the fence at first, you don't feel like having a stranger coming in your house and teaching you about your little one, do it anyway. You get the help that you need. You get professional advice on things you may not know about your child. And the fact that the program has no fees or anything, it's all totally free, is fantastic.
Yo creo que si conozco a alguien que está próxima a ser mamá, lo primero que haría sería recomendarle el programa porque te entrega mucho apoyo, mucha información y más que nada como apoyo emocional, una guía, te da una visión diferente de cómo es ser papá aquí, quizás en este país.
Y así pues es un bonito programa. Porque pues es buena persona la señora y los ha atendido muy bien.
Pensé que nada más iba a ser un programa de orientación quizás para los nuevos padres, pero creo que nos llevamos una linda sorpresa porque Gaby es una persona muy cercana a nosotros, es como parte de nuestra familia, siempre ha estado dispuesta a ayudarnos y a escucharnos con nuestras dudas sobre la paternidad, y en nuestro caso, que estamos solos en este país, ha sido como de mucha ayuda.
Es un gran apoyo para nuevos padres, y más aún si están en nuestra situación, que somos extranjeros, que nuestra familia y amigos, como dice Carla, están en otro país, lejos. Entonces sí, viene muy bien el programa para apoyarse tanto emocional y como anímicamente, y bueno, en varios aspectos del programa, que nos ayuda a seguir adelante con esta nueva aventura.
Te ayuda como a ver los distintos recursos que tiene la comunidad para nuevos papás, entonces creo que es de gran ayuda.
No queda mucho que agregar, pero lo veo de la misma forma.
Que hemos aprendido algunas cosas aquí y pues los han ayudado, como este programa los ha ayudado para seguir creciendo a la bebé, como con buenos consejos y así.
Sí, y creo que también ha sido muy importante el tema de apoyarnos con el libro y saber qué actividades hacer con Máximo de acuerdo a su edad, cómo estimularlo, cómo cuidarlo de los peligros de la casa, como cosas que uno como papá nuevo no conoce, claro.
Pues a mí me gustaría que lo siguiéramos visitando aquí en la biblioteca de Covelo. Está tranquilo y muy bonito aquí.
Cuando no nos podemos reunir, nos comunicamos por Zoom o una llamada telefónica o por texto.
Donde nos visite, porque ha sido nuestra casa. A veces nosotros vamos a Wellits y puede ser en el parque. Gaby llega, hacemos un resumen de cómo ha ido nuestra semana o qué hemos hecho de nuevo, cómo va el trabajo. Luego hacemos las actividades del libro. Vemos si podemos hacer un juguetito nuevo para Máximo. A veces ella lo evalúa, cómo está su sentido motriz, qué ha aprendido de nuevo, nuevas palabras, y jugamos un ratito y conversamos.
A mí personalmente también me ayudó mucho a obtener mi licencia a conducir, que era un objetivo que teníamos en cuanto a la familia,
sí,
para poder estar tranquilos, así que encuentro que ha sido fundamental el apoyo.
El objetivo del programa es que las familias estén bien, y que las familias estén bien significa niños felices, niños sanos, y eso en un futuro es adultos sanos y un mundo mejor. Entonces está bueno.
Are you prepared? We're the Office of Emergency Services, and we're committed to providing the most up-to-date and accurate information so that you and your family can stay safe during an emergency. Part of being prepared is knowing your hazards and taking proper precautions. Visit mendoready.org. On the Know Your Hazards page, you can find hazards for where you work, where you live, and where your kids go to school. On the Plan and Prepare page, you'll find a plan template. It's important to know what you're going to do, what you're going to take with you, how you're going to communicate, where you're going to go, and how to get there.
One great way to prepare is to pack a go bag. Each member of your family should have their own go bag. Visit our website, mendoready.org, to get a list of items that should be in your go bag.
Gathering and organizing important documents before an emergency is an important part of preparedness. So visit mendoready.org today, where you can find a list of important documents that you should have ready near your go bag in case you have to evacuate.
Not every emergency requires people to evacuate. An emergency kit will have supplies for you to remain self-sufficient for 72 hours. Find a list of supplies for disaster kits on our website, mendoready.org.
A prepared community is a resilient community that will recover faster from disasters. So take some time today, visit our website, get yourself prepared so you can be Mendo ready.
She has made me feel like I'm important and I can go at my own pace, and that's all you need sometimes when you're feeling like you got nobody.
It was helpful to have somebody there kind of holding my hand and guiding me and letting me know this is kind of the normal. It felt like I was becoming a new mom, so it was very interesting and helpful, very, very helpful.
You know, there was that self-conscious part of me, like, will I be accepted even though I'm not perfect?
What I like the most is that she really listens.
The support that she gives me is special because she does it with love, and it's just natural, you know. That's all I could say. It just feels like somebody that I've known since I was little.
You know, I said to Jeanette, Jeanette, you're supposed to be with me for 5 years. Jeanette said, yeah, I know, I'm going to be with you guys for 5 years. That's when I said, well, I guess I can trust her. She's going to be with us for 5 years.
Yo creo que quizás pasó como a la segunda visita o algo así, como que ya nos presentamos formalmente. Y luego ya creo que en la segunda visita estaba como todo más tranquilo, como muy, como que el ambiente era muy familiar. Entonces yo me sentí muy cómoda.
I felt like she cared for Sparrow too, and Sparrow really enjoyed it. Yeah, she knew when Gabby came we were going to be making something or learning something, and she'd instantly start digging through Gabby's bags to find out what activity we were going to do.
Not only did we get the assistance with this program, but we also made a really good friend. I'm happy to call Gabby our friend.
I think the relationship that we've built has been she's a part of the family.
When I first realized that I was going to be a parent, I was super scared. After 2 or 3 weeks of meeting in the home visiting program, I was totally comfortable with the fact that I was going to have a baby. Yes, I was still scared, but at the same time, I felt like I had some sense of strength behind me.
If I didn't have those resources that Jeanette provided me, I think it would be harder now.
I got into the program and I realized, like, oh, this is nice. And now look at me, I work at a family resource center with parents and families, all this stuff.
I'm so grateful that I got the opportunity to meet my home visitor, because without her, I think that I would be 10 steps behind from where I'm at right now.
Pero pues aquí pues ya los enseñan un poquito más cosas que uno no sabía. Cómo cuidarla, cómo desarrollarla, cómo educarla, y pues es algo bien porque pues cosas que yo no sabía, pues ya usted nos las dijo y todo como consejos, y pues muchas cosas que se aprendieron.
I don't know what's normal for a 22-month-old baby or an 18-month-old baby, you know. When we get together, we usually discuss and get some progress made with the baby. It makes me feel comfortable, and I associate my parenting with her, my home visitor, telling me, yeah, this is going great.
So it's nice to know where they're at, what stage they're at for every parent, and also to give, again, your children that head start in education.
If I had any questions with her, just call her up on the phone. You know, it was very relatable, very personal. And, you know, with her getting to know my kids, you know, she got to kind of help guide me along the way. I mean, there were so many cool things that I've learned.
I went from a very rough type of life. I was homeless, and she was able to help me get into school, and I actually have enough credits to graduate with the business degree right now.
I think I really want to mention just that I'm grateful that I took advantage, because it's something that has put me in touch with my child, or closer to my child and her development.
I want other people and parents to know that the home visiting is not something that you should be afraid of. It's actually something that is needed.
You know, because she's not just here for her, she's here to help with all of it. She helped me create a safe space where I feel comfortable enough to ask for help.
Don't be afraid to take that step. Like, don't be afraid to get help. It's always okay to have extra support.
I would say, give it a try. You got nothing to lose. It's free. There's some perks, you know. They've got some great resources.
Personally, I think everybody could benefit from the home visiting programs.
Are you prepared? We're the Office of Emergency Services, and we're committed to providing the most up-to-date and accurate information so that you and your family can stay safe during an emergency. Visit MendoReady.org. It's our one-stop shop for emergency information. You can sign up for emergency alerts, find your pre-established evacuation zone on our current emergencies map, and find hazard and preparedness information.
Imagine you're faced with a disaster such as a wildfire, and you're ordered to evacuate. I'll bet you wish you had more time in that moment. Now's your chance to buy yourself that time. Sign up for Nixle and Mendo Alerts on our website, mendoready.org. Do it today.
If you want your family to be as resilient as possible, it's important to take some time today and visit mendoready.org, where you can look up your pre-established evacuation zones on our current emergencies map. You can also find important tools to help maintain your situational awareness, such as the Alert California wildfire cameras and the Caltrans road conditions cameras. We hope you'll take some time today to prepare so that your family can be Mendo ready. Thank you.
I realized that my life was going to change dramatically in ways that I did not know or understand or even comprehend. I was going to have to really go to the well and become accountable and adjust to a lot of things differently.
Que queríamos era que naciera, ya, sí la quiero tener, entonces ahorita lo que tenemos es aprovecharla, quererla y cuidarla lo más que se pueda.
Creo que a todos nos preocupa la primera vez que nos dicen que vamos a ser padres.
When we started the program, my daughter was about 3 months, and my daughter's 22 months now. Something I love about my child, that she's healthy, she's happy, she knows that she's cared for and loved. Those are some of the things that I wanted to make sure that she had, and she has them.
I'm happy today with my daughter. She's the greatest thing in my life, and I'm glad to wake up and see her, and everything I do it for her.
Sí, bueno, yo también vengo de una familia separada. Creo que por eso también me motiva a estar más presente con él, de quizás también estar de la forma quizás que yo no la tuve para Máximo, y también comprender que el padre no solo es el que pone los límites y las reglas, sino que también está ahí para hablar, acompañar, regalonear, jugar, cosas lindas también, no solo ser el guía para el niño, sino que también un compañero de vida.
I was more of a elated and thankful because for 3 months I was in baby land, and when you're in baby world, you're just kind of flying by the seat of your pants and hoping you know that you're just supportive in the ways that you can be supportive.
Pero pues aquí pues ya los enseñan un poquito más cosas que uno no sabía, como cuidarla, cómo desarrollarla, cómo educarla, y pues es algo bien porque pues cosas que yo no sabía, pues ya usted nos las dijo y todo como consejos, y pues muchas cosas que se aprendieron.
Bueno, creo que por mi parte esperaba algo totalmente diferente, como un programa más frío, por decir algo, no tan cercano a la familia, sino más bien un programa de estado programado para la ayuda solamente. Y a través del programa nos hemos dado cuenta que también pasa a ser una familia con nosotros, porque nos apoya en los momentos difíciles o cuando nos hemos visto en dificultades. Siempre nos hemos podido apoyar en Gaby a través de su programa. Encuentro que ha sido fundamental el apoyo.
You know, my experience has been nothing but positive. Annette has been wonderful. She's on time. She lets me know if there's going to be any changes in the schedule.
Not only did we get the assistance with this program, but we also made a really good friend. I'm happy to call Gabby our friend.
I still feel the challenge of being a parent now in today's world is immense. I think that you need support.
Es un gran apoyo para nuevos padres y
Coming out of closed
más
session,
aún si están en
10:21 a.m. And we are discussing protest application number 24005, applicant Blumenfeld, Mark. The Assessment Appeals Board agrees that the comparable sales valuation approach is the appropriate valuation method. The board reviewed comparables submitted into evidence by both parties and relied upon 285 Sherwood Road, applicants comparable number 3, assessors comparable number 2. This property was valued at approximately $229,000. The board also considered assessors comparable number 3, which sold the day after the subject property at $265,125. However, this property included a large 2-car garage, and the board believes that a larger downward adjustment should be attributed to this for approximately $26,000. Therefore, the board reaches a fair market value of $230,000. Does the assessor still wish to have the board prepare findings of fact? Hearing yes, The Assessment Appeals Board will take this under submission and prepare findings of fact consistent with the concluding valuation provided to the parties today. The clerk will notify the applicant in writing of the decision by U.S. mail addressed to the applicant or to an agent at the address given in the application. Rule 325. The decision becomes final when written notice of the decision is issued. Thank you. So is that completing that? You need something else?
We have the minutes to it.
Well, no, I'm going on to agenda item number 6.
Yeah, I think that's it for the hearing.
Okay, very good. Approval of minutes of October 28, 2024.
Madam Chairman, I move that meeting of October 28th, 2024.
Thank you.
Member Kramer?
Yeah, now, we can all vote on this?
Yes.
Because just Member Seltzer and myself were present for that. I go aye.
All right, so stepping back real quick, we're just going to take a vote on the actions that Acting Chair Member Shepherd gave out. So we just need to take a motion on that protest hearing. Or take a vote, apologies. Do we have a second for that?
Yes, do we have a second? Yes, he had a second, okay.
Yep, just write it
Okay.
down real quick. All right, Member Kramer?
Aye.
Member Shepherd?
Aye.
And Member Swope?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. All right, going back to the minutes for October 28th, yes, you can all vote even if you were not there.
Okay.
Any public expression of items not on the agenda? Hearing none.
We do have to finish the vote for the
Oh,
the
I'm
minutes
sorry, I
real
thought we
quick.
had.
Yep.
Okay.
Member Shepherd?
Aye.
Member Swope?
Aye.
And Member Kramer?
What are we voting on?
The minutes.
The minutes.
Oh, I thought we did.
No, you guys made a motion, but we never got to the voting part.
Okay. Aye.
All right, and then
I lost track here.
all right, we are good to move on.
Now the request for public expression.
Yep, and seeing none in the room.
Matters from staff.
None on clerk of the board or the assessor's behalf.
Any announcements?
None.
I would like to invite the clerk to confirm the date of the next meeting, July 14, 2025.
Yes, that is our currently scheduled date for that meeting. There is no calendar as of yet because that is our annual organizational meeting.
Okay. Then I would accept a motion for adjournment.
I so move.
I second.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Do we vote? Okay. Oh, we don't. Oh.
I'll leave you to